Hi, good afternoon, and welcome back to the sixth installment of Tequila Talk Compadres. I am your host, Ed, and we got Eric and Tony. Ed will be introducing the tequila of the day.
What's happening, people? So today, try this one called El Rey, because who can't? El Rey, it just sounds great, so you gotta try that shit. Now, who can go against that?
And for those that don't know, El Rey is the king tequila.
Yeah, El King. Oh no, the
King.
That's how you know it's good already. 'Cause I kind of tried it already, and it's kind of, I got the brown one because any brown kind of drink is more for sipping, drinking, and this one has a little bit of a. It actually says it's aged in oak barrels for 4 months, and it does. It's a little bit of a sipper, a little bit like whiskey-like, but no, it's more tequila. You still feel that agave, that hard kick at the end. Pretty good. I like it. Maybe not so great for mixing drinks with, but as far as to sip on, it's pretty good. But they got the silver one for mixing drinks. Silver's better than
Now this one, what price point would it come in at?
This one came in. This is the 750 milliliter. It's it was like $24, $25.
Okay, it's kind of a medium.
Yeah, it's a medium.
Not low, not high.
Yeah, but to me it tastes pretty smooth. It's for sipping. I mean, you can take it as a shot. As a shot, you can definitely feel that kick.
Yes.
Which we're going to try right now.
We're going to try the shot.
It's more for sipping. I'm just saying.
Oh, definitely for sipping.
It hurts the soul. Oh.
What did you say? It's a kick in the ball?
Yes. Yes, it's feeling it. It's feeling pretty good.
While we're recovering, please take a little bit of time and hit like and subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube and you're watching us on podcasts, what do you do on podcasts?
You listen, man.
Keep on listening.
That's the main thing.
All right, so it is summertime and we're all quarantined, so I'm pretty sure everybody has a stock or a bar full of drinks at their home, mixing new drinks. So you just kind of made me think, what are some of my favorite drinks? Some of the good drinks are out there that get you going, thinking get you in the mood to watch some more Netflix and whatnot. So some drinks that you like, some drinks you gotta watch out for, and so just some delicious drink you can't get enough of. Mm-hmm. So which one of your favorites, Eric?
Well, tequila.
Oh, okay.
And actually, it's a funny story where, I used to think tequila was all about sipping not sipping, shots and partying and all that. And I like to try different ones, but it was actually, I remember years ago, there was like a snowstorm and I was stuck at home, couldn't get out, just, the driveway was full of snow.
Wait, you were snowstorm in Texas?
In Texas.
How the hell you get snowed in Texas?
That's what I'm saying.
That was years ago.
This is a long time ago, 10 years ago at least.
Okay, snowed in Texas.
I couldn't get out the driveway.
8 years possibly, but it's okay. Yeah.
It was like I was trying to get out of the driveway. I couldn't even pull out my car, so I got a broom and I duct taped one of them little dusters. I said, I'm gonna shovel my way out of this sucker right here.
Electric cars.
Yeah. And then I said, I got this. I went in there first shovel, it broke. Okay, I'm stuck at home.
I'm sure the electric car, you hit the gas and with all the code it'll drain.
Yeah. So I was stuck. There's no power at home. There was nothing, they were snowed in. I couldn't get out, couldn't even talk to nobody. I had my battery and I was charging my I had a car battery that I had a little converter and I was trying to charge my phone so I can call somebody. And so I was like, there ain't nothing to do. All I had was tequila and all I had was just nothing really, just looking outside.
Did you have food?
I had some food, but I already ate, so I was all right.
All right.
And so I was like, you know what? Instead of just I just got some tequila, poured it in there. I had no other alcohol. And I put a little lemon, and I was just like, I can't take it a shot. So I just started sipping it, and that's when I first really actually, it's pretty good just to sip. I used to think whiskey's more for sipping, like a bourbon or something. But I just started sipping on it, and that's how I really got into it. That's like my drink. And then I noticed in the novelas, the Spanish soap operas. If you watch them, all the people they sip on the tequila. Man, they can take a shot. They don't take a shot. They sip on it. Tequila's for sipping, man. You can get the different flavors and the taste. So since then, tequila's really been my go-to. Then I like whiskey and stuff like that too. But
which is your favorite tequila?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I would say Corralejo's pretty good. I like that one. I go to 1800. And even 1800 coconut. That one has a nice
That's pretty good. That coconut is pretty good. Yeah.
They're pretty good. I like trying different ones. I like the little earthy ones. And I used to get some from I guess from my motherland in Durango, Mexico. My dad used to go, and they would actually make some mezcal. And man, they would bring it back, and they would give me some. Man, it was smooth, man. It was so smooth. I couldn't even keep that little gone so quick. But the last batch that they got, they made it real earthy. So like it was kind of a little more it's harder to hit. But yeah, I guess tequila drinks.
What about you, Tony?
Many drinks I do like. I do like so many, but I think one of my favorites that I haven't really drank in a long time is Lunchbox.
Oh my
Lunchbox. So Lunchbox, I drank first at Chili's in Dallas. I learned it over 10, 15 years ago, I believe. I had to be about 25. By a bartender that was originally from Oklahoma. She learned it in Oklahoma and gave it to me. It tastes a lot like Blue Moon, way before Blue Moon was ever around.
But what's in it?
What's in it? It's 3/4 any blonde beer you like. I used to drink Bud Light, so Bud Light would be 3/4. It'd be a tall glass, 3/4 of any blonde beer you want. 1 shot of Disaronno, and then you fill the rest of the cup up with orange juice. I had about 2 or 3 of those, and I was gone for the night. I could no longer drink, so let's say for those times that this was before Uber Lyft, if it was around, it was good. But yeah, I had drove drunk a few times in my life, but let's just say
no evidence. That never happened.
That never happened. No, I do not condone.
We do not condone drinking and driving.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite drinks. It's so smooth. You don't feel any of the alcohol, any of the strong alcohol, or the beer really, because of the
Orange juice.
Orange juice, but it has to be it has to be 100% orange juice for that. And it's a smooth drink. It kind of tastes like Blue Moon, way stronger, way before Blue Moon was ever around. But that has to be one of my favorite drinks.
Nice.
I have to say, man, I'm a pretty basic bro. I am as basic as pepperoni pizza. So I really do enjoy the coconut rum or the Parabay, along with just orange juice. That's one of my favorites.
But you know what?
All day.
As a second, I like the Parabay with the squirt. We had years ago.
Wait. Parabay?
Damn flies.
Calm down. I think you're fighting there, karate chop.
Damn flies.
When we had Parabay with squirt in our early.
I don't remember. I remember drinking Parabay by itself. I don't remember the Parabay and squirt. I must have been really enjoying those.
Well, you were, because we were we had picked it up at the gas station. The squirt and the large 40-ounce
Blue Ocean
gulps.
water. I remember Blue Ocean water in Parabay or the Malibu, but that's a different story. What about beers now? Beers. I know we all have different types of beers, different type of tastes. So what about you, Tony? Which one's one of your favorite beers?
If I'm getting off of work and I don't want something too strong,
Michelob.
no, not Michelob. Is Michelob the champagne of beer? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, that one, Michelob, because it'll be the champagne of beers. It's smooth, not too strong and everything. But when I want to relax, good, strong, but not. I don't want to go crazy. I'll go for Modelo Negra.
Oh.
Negra.
Dilo
Sereno.
Modelo, if you want to sponsor us, feel free.
Yeah.
This and Dos Equis. I like them both.
I like stout beers. I like darker beers. And Modelo Negra is one of my favorite. Modelo Negra and Guinness are my favorite beers. And then to just like I said, like something light, something to drink. Miller Lite would be my go-to. And then I love brewery beer, man. I like trying different brewery beers. I like the coffee taste. I like the plutonium. We had some of that. Coffee and coconut little mix.
That plutonium is from
our local
Manhattan Project Brewery.
Yeah, those are great. And I like the coffee. I actually like taste of coffee. Damn, I'm flying. I'm gonna kill that mother. And then I like coconut. Coffee and coconut, then you mix it together, man. What better combination you can have than that? That plutonium was good.
I do like that. What about you, Eddie?
Man, my favorite. I again, going with a basic bro mentality, I always enjoy a Bud Light because it's pretty light and clear. Not a whole lot to it. But lately, thanks to this guy over here, man, those plutoniums, those stouts, those Guinness, those dark beers, coffee taste with where you catch it, you catch it, you catch it.
That's a chaser.
So you like plutonium, but as far as liquor,
That's a great dude. But
what's your favorite?
No, mixed drinks is I have to go with rum and coconut juice. I mean orange juice. That's just
So for liquors, would you say rum is your go-to?
no vodka.
Vodka.
Vodka. Oh,
Vodka.
Do you have a preference? Which vodka? Because there's so many out there.
I mean, there's just so many choices. I mean, if Deep Eddy's the grapefruit vodka mixed with the Red Bull, with the yellow, that's tropical punch Red Bull, that's fucking delicious.
I think most vodkas taste the same, you know.
Please hit like.
Lies.
I mean, there's some are infused with flavors, but like to a vodka, I think to be considered a vodka, it has to meet certain criteria, and so basically they all kind of taste the same until they're infused with something.
So like tequila, they all taste the same.
No, because they're different. Man.
There you go.
Different cultures.
Just like
I
everything
think there's
else.
a little more
I think
variability. In
there's
tequila.
difference in quality and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
There
it was.
is. Have you tried Amsterdam vodka? That is trash.
I think, man, I think about
Yeah.
the same. I think a lot of it, like, is psychological too. Like, you know, I remember reading about the study they did about these, you know, this blind wine test where they compared like really expensive bottles to kind of like cheap wine. And, you know, they had these experts, right, drink them, right? But they told the expert how much the price was of each bottle. And they lied. You know, they said, okay, this cheap bottle is actually more expensive. And they would rate it higher compared to what the cheaper ones, even though the cheaper ones, they were rated higher as because they thought they were more expensive.
Now,
So,
I like
and, you know, and that's
that mentality.
like the Grey Goose. If you look at it, I was reading about it. Like it's basically a campaign marketing scheme they did. This guy went to France. Like it's an American guy. He's like, I need to make this good vodka, but I need to go somewhere to where I can advertise it. So he went to France and he found a distillery somewhere in France. He's like, man, I just need to find somewhere so I can get a label on it. So made in France vodka. He's just like to put that label so I can charge more, and he made it higher. He's like, oh, it's a high quality price, even though he just got like a freaking went to a village and had some people start making it, and boom, it was a marketing success. A lot of it is like, you know, if you think it's expensive, you think it must taste great, but and in other cases, of course, quality and stuff is going to come in effect.
Well, Deep Eddy's not exactly expensive.
No, Deep Eddy's is not. Deep Eddy's is one of my favorite vodkas.
But you know with that, it's like, yes, when it's expensive, you make less quantity, it gets more expensive too, and of course because of location you can charge. But do you think social media and everything affects prices these days on everything?
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, look at it. I think personally, and I don't like much tequila. Tequila is not one of my favorites whatsoever. However, you think about Patron. People love Patron because it's advertisement. But if you taste like what I tasted on Julio, it was like eye-opening. It was like super delicious. The Julio is super smooth.
Yeah.
But that's something I'll spend an extra buck on because it is so smooth. It has the right amount of taste. It doesn't burn, but it has a nice soft kick. It's just, you know, you don't have to take a shot, but you can take a shot.
Yeah, I'll take a shot of that anytime.
But the Julio, that's the thing. It's definitely, man.
Tequila.
Marketing has a lot to do with it. Think about it, like, I love running shoes. I love running. I like cross-country running. Like right now, I am currently wearing a $30 pair of shoes that are just as good as a $130 pair of Nike shoes.
Yeah.
They're just that comfortable.
It's all marketing, yeah.
It's all marketing.
But then sometimes it is quality. But
I think it's a
it's
little
like
bit
a little bit of both. But like, you know, marketing tries to push. It's like anything. Any business is going to try to make as most money they can to make the most profit, make it as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
So the marketing takes a lot of effect. So
and I think about that because there's a lot of companies that can spend a lot of money for something and charge a lot of money, and then there's a lot of companies that don't have the resources to do that. But their product is really, really good. People don't know so much about it, and they cost a third of the other stuff, just like you were talking about the shoes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the only way they get out there and known is word of mouth.
It's like the California wine, you know, like it broke out.
I don't even know what brand this is, But these are comfortable as hell.
And they look
$30
good.
bucks.
Hey,
His tennis,
show it again.
For our listeners, that's his tennis shoes.
They have no brand.
They look pretty cool. They're green and all that, but they're comfortable.
Yeah, they look cool.
It's like like you seen that movie with the California when it's first wineries they had back in the day.
Napa Valley.
Napa Valley and all that. Then because it's California. There's not for France, not for
It's
Europe.
not France, yeah.
But when they did blind tests, the quality is just as good, man.
And you know what? If you go down to South Florida by the Gulf Coast, there's a lot of wineries down there too that are great names that you've never heard of, but they produce some very good wines too. It's just they don't have the big money and all that
advertisement,
stuff.
Man.
Advertisement. They can't invest in advertisement like some of these other companies that have been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's why I love right now that local breweries, they're like blowing up everywhere, man. I like, people that make their own craft, they make their own beers and all that. That's why I love going to breweries, man, trying different things. And now that's what really got me into the stouts and all that. The Plutonium, that's a local brewery that they make right here.
Really, it's fucking
great.
delicious. Yeah, I didn't really like it.
Yeah. But, all alcohol is pretty good if you take it in the right amount.
So, talking about all this alcohol. There's a lot of people drinking these days. A lot of people drinking these days, but
a lot of baby making going on.
A lot of baby making going on, possibly two. Some may not have that luck, but it is what it is. People occasionally may drink too much and drive. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, first of all, alcohol starts affecting your prefrontal cortex, right, or something like that. Like it starts inhibiting your way to logic. So you're like, I got this shit. I can drive, whatever. And it's not right. I know it's not right.
We've all been there though. After
we've all been there. It's like I'm all right. I can handle it.
You may not want to initially go out, but you start drinking. And it was like, oh, I feel great. Let's go out. We need to go out.
The only thing we don't think about who's driving back.
Everybody's like, shot. If you drink, you don't think of who's driving and who's driving back. No. What do you think about that?
Man, look, it's jacked up because shit happens. And people get drunk at all levels. But man, it's just I think it's very predominant, especially in the Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
I think it's specifically in the Hispanic culture.
Even in the macho, like I can handle my beer, I can handle my alcohol, I can drive.
Yeah.
Really...
I mean, I can honestly say this: there were some times where I've seen people where they had too much to drink. They were at the club, they were at a party or whatnot, and I mean, like, hey, just IHOP, it's on the street, like fucking 4 miles, like who cares, right? So you get on there, and you just drive. I mean, I've heard of instances where I had, there's this guy and his friends, and he's drunk. He was the original designated driver, and the designated driver got drunk.
That's not good. When your DD gets drunk, that's not good.
That's not good.
So the regular driver, he decided to go ahead and say, "Oh, the hell with it. Let's go ahead and let's go home." Right now, mind you, this guy, pretty good guy, I have to say, but I know this person. And he got into the vehicle, and he was driving. And from what I hear, I think there was some driving going across the wrong way street, bumping into the roads, going up on the service road. And then, everything worked well. At the end of the day, everybody got home safe. However, the car was not in such great condition. The whole side of the road, the whole side of the passenger side was pretty much dented, busted and burned and bruised. And
I hope you have good insurance.
Also too. And the funniest part is at the end, man, this guy's, he's chilling and he's like, man, I hope it was good, but where are my glasses at? And you pull his glasses, but still can't see it. It's just the frames. This guy drove drunk and without actual glasses, so yeah.
So he had no lenses in his glasses.
Whatever.
But he thought he
had them, man. But that's what alcohol does, man. You don't even know what's going on. You don't know how to react, and you just do some stuff you probably shouldn't be doing. I mean, it's crazy what drunk driving can do.
It kind of changes your mental thought, and as far as everything, it's like you think you can do stuff that you can't do, and it's like I think it besides Latino, Mexican culture and stuff, it affects everybody, but yeah. But over the years with technology and everything, at least now we have Uber and Lyft. Hopefully, people use that a lot more these days versus years back when we started growing up in our early 20s.
It's hard to get a taxi in Dallas.
We couldn't get a taxi.
Back in the day before Uber.
We didn't even think of it because we're not such of a place like New York where taxis everywhere. You don't have cars and stuff.
But we could always call. Yeah.
We could always call, but it's like now you can hit the button even if you're not feeling too well and stuff, and you can still get a ride. So that doesn't happen because, especially in Texas, I know it's one of those things where it's super expensive and to get a DWI and stuff. But
so in Texas, I know you started a little bit on law. I know you were in law for a little bit, and so you have some idea approximately. Like, what are some of the costs related with drunk driving? Like if you get a 1, 2, or 3, what are some of the processes that you know of as far as like drunk driving?
Drunk driving, well, in Texas, kind of rough because Texas is tough with drunk driving. Especially with MAD being located, especially up here in the DFW area and stuff, their corporate office up here. So they have people presented in a lot of the court cases. Possibly not right now because of the pandemic going on, but it's one of the tougher states to get a DWI in. If you consider the yearly surcharges of the cost of getting a DWI, plus court fees, probation, you'll probably get a breathalyzer in the car. For a first-time offense, it's not uncommon to get about over the 3-year span that you get if you're put on probation for it to cost you anywhere between 15 to 20 plus thousand.
Damn,
for
man.
the first offense. But because yes. If you think about it,
so
you should invest, get a Uber, Lyft, and buy yourself a new car.
Think about it hey, invest like when that chick, 18 years. It's like
18 years.
So don't be doing no random crazy chicks. Think about the DWI. That's $20,000 right there.
It's $20,000, but
10 to
that's just monetary wise, and. If someone's a student, no, I think it's considered a low misdemeanor.
Oh, okay.
After
at least I don't
one or 2, after 3 is considered a high misdemeanor, but it would affect you to get a job too, at least for 10 years. So
how does that? I thought it was only felonies that affect.
No, it affects you because most jobs.
Your driving record.
Well, no, because driving record too, but most companies out there. Let's say you're a student studying. Trying to get a degree and you want to get a good job. Most companies out there, they look at that background check, and if they see a DWI on your background, if you're working for a transport company or anything like that, it's going to affect you. You're not going to be able to hire. You're not going to be able to do anything like that, or if you have to do any sort of driving, that would affect you as well. But a lot of companies look down on it, so it's tough. But the sad part about it is there's so many people drink all the time, especially in Texas too. Well, I don't know where you are listening from, how it is in your state, but in different counties, it's like you can, if you ever gone to any of the courthouses and everything like that, they have, it looks like a small little, like being in high school and being in an auditorium of people that they have them in big groups. Talking about drunk driving, like MAD is big promoter out here.
MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They go out there and they take someone that's, for anybody that's had a DWI, they have to go to courses and so forth. And usually it's like in Dallas, it's done in Dallas County Courthouse and stuff. They have like a small auditorium where you will see MAD representatives with victims of drunk driving going out there and telling you about their experience. What's happened to them because of a drunk driver. Maybe they've lost a family member, or maybe the person's been affected themselves. Maybe it affects them small, like in a small way, but it still affects them during a lifetime, or it's affected them figuratively. It's like the body of the person could have been burned or severely damaged. They lost a limb or anything like that. And that's one of the hard things to have to go through. for whoever's been through those courses. I mean, as far as that, but
So you don't think that drunk driving in general is a cultural thing? You think there's a higher percentage? I don't know the numbers, so I haven't really researched any of it. But you don't think that there's a higher prevalence in any particular demographic that there is a higher incidence of drunk driving versus another?
I don't think so because I think a lot of people drink in general. That's just me, but I think it's just your household, your household in general, because it's like who brought you up. It's like what you've been around. There's people I know that never never drink, and then there's people that I've known that family members are habitual drinkers. That they may have a problem drinking, and it's just kind of passed along the family. But I don't know. It's to each their own. It's to each their own, and of course, ultimately, it's up to you. It's like I understand. Alcoholism can affect people too.
Yeah, I think
It's just like
mental
a
thing, you know.
yeah. I
Like
think it's
like some people, they think, well, I'm not drunk, I can handle it, you know. So it's like more like.
Yeah.
I don't think I think like alcohol is in every culture. So like I don't really think there's a big difference between different races and stuff like that. But then maybe people that are like have more like a higher income and all that, they may think more from the start. Hey, I don't need to risk all this, so they can afford. I'm gonna get a ride. I'm gonna pay for this, get whatever. Maybe people at a lower income bracket, they might be like, I don't need to pay for this right now. I can make it. I'm still good. So that might kind of push them to drive drunk, maybe instead of like wait till these.
no.
But
Well,
I don't know.
on me, I see that both ways. It's like it could be low income or high income. I've seen people with high income, people considered spoiled, drink a lot, and they cause problems, and people think, hey,
Well, that's when that's
you can't
a
affect
mental
me.
thing. Like you say, hey, I can handle it. Like I ain't drunk, but pretty hard drunk. But I know some people that like, this like I can handle it. They can go home and they like seeing double. It's alright. Just cover one eye. I cover one eye. I'll see double no more.
I've heard that too. But they say statistically,
Yeah.
people drive in general. Many people drive drunk many times. But there could be people that drive drunk one time and they get stopped.
Yeah.
So you never know.
It's always a
It's
roll
always
the dice.
roll of the dice. You
man,
never
don't know.
And it's a roll of the dice you may not want to take.
It's the worst thing is to roll dice if you actually crash and kill somebody or hurt somebody that's innocent, man. That's the thing. And it's tough. It's a tough thing.
Like I remember, that's a buddy of mine, man, and he was telling me a little bit of the story. We used to work together back in a while back in my college years, and he was drinking somewhere in Deep Ellum. This is back in the like 2000.
That's a downtown area in Dallas that's popping now.
It is hot and pop. Back then it wasn't popping so much.
Oh, except in the COVID-19 era.
But he wasn't much of a joke to be. He was he was a lightweight. So he didn't. 2 beers and this dude was pretty much drunk off his ass. So he didn't take a whole lot. And he was telling me that he drank probably about say 3 or 4 shots of tequila. Probably had a 6-pack of beers and a couple of other mixed shots.
Lightweight? That is a lot.
That's
a lightweight?
No, but he was a lightweight. So but he telling me the story means that this dude was
drank a lot.
really drank a lot. Like seriously drank a lot. So however, he still felt comfortable in driving. So he got his vehicle, went down the street, and he wanted to go take a leak. Obviously, he had to break the seal at that point in the moment. So, but he was in a hurry, and I forgot which street he crosses. He goes across, and he just gets T-boned. Just gets T-boned. Like his vehicle pops, and he ends up being on top of this. He gets hit.
They run a red light.
No, he ran a stop sign.
Oh, ran a stop
He ran a stop sign. So this Mustang was coming across, just T-bones him. He rolls over with his homeboy, and somehow he ends up being on top of a stop sign. Like rolls over it.
Damn.
Whatever it is, cops come over, and he said, man, he is scared shitless. This dude is like, dude, I don't know.
I'm not gonna be alive.
He was, and he's out there, and he's like, man, like, dude, he goes, I don't know what had happened, man. I was so scared at that point in time because obviously he knows he was drunk at that point in time. Like he realized, like, I drank way too fucking much, and he is out there puffing a cigar, trying to, but the cops come because obviously that other person, whoever there was that T-boned him was, was also injured. I don't know to what extent. I don't think a whole lot. Point being, it also boils down to who the cop is.
Oh yeah, that's a
That's
major
a big
factor.
So he goes, dude, I have no idea how it happened. I took the test. I know the moving nose, the whole thing.
Did he pass?
He passed.
Huh.
He took the breathalyzer test, and he passed.
Okay.
And he passed.
How did he pass?
I have no idea. But he says the cop was really cool or feel sorry for him, whatever it was, because he goes, I know I was drunk, dude. Like, Ed, I know I was drunk. And all he says, like, dude, hey, you passed the test, if it's good. I still know your background, and if you don't have anything on you, then, you're good to go. He wasn't good to go. He had tickets because he had, like, speeding tickets or whatnot. He went to jail. But all it has to do, too, is, like, who's looking out for you? I mean, this dude could seriously been in a world of hurt. I mean, he got T-boned. He was drunk off his ass. But the cop was really cool. He got really lucky.
Some people, like, even just maybe have a few drinks and get pulled over, and they're not that drunk, but since they don't pass the breathalyzer, they get to be taken in, DWI, and boom, you're done.
It's over, man. It's over.
You know what? I was saying something, too, about, people that are sleep deprived. That it could be just as bad as drunk driving. Like,
they say it can be as bad or worse than
it could be worse. Like, they've done like cognitive tests. Like, people okay, you take a few beers, see how you are. If you pass these tests. I thought it was one study. I remember it. Man, I forgot where it was from, but it was just as bad. And some were even worse. Like, you're getting like 4 hours of sleep a day, or 6 hours or less. Then it's basically like you're driving drunk when you're at that point.
I think it's worse because usually when someone may be driving drunk, their eyes are open. Sometimes, the sleep deprived, you close your eyes and you're not looking at the road.
You get the micro sleeps.
Micro sleeps.
You can't even help it. It's like subconscious.
You close your eyes completely and you don't see the street. And
that happened to me before.
I think it happened to everybody.
It happened to me when I was graduating college and stuff.
When I was working at this job where I had to travel and go to the town, man, I wasn't getting any sleep, and I just wanted to get the job done so I can go home. I'd be pushing myself. I was sleeping like 3-4 hours a night, and then one time I fell asleep, like driving maybe for like a few seconds, and luckily I woke up just before a curve came. After that, I was like, oh no, man, I'm pulling over. I pulled over. I didn't care that I got there late. I fell asleep. I just took a nap on the side of the road for like an hour and a half.
I've done that.
And yeah, man, that's dangerous.
I've done that, but back.
It's as dangerous as driving drunk.
Yeah. Back when I was still in college, getting my bachelor's, during finals, you're so stressed because I was working. I was an adult student and stuff, and you study. Well, you work all day, then you have to study, exams, writing papers. For those days that you didn't have to go to school, you'd write papers till late at night and stuff, and start the day over again. Especially when it came time to finals and stuff, had almost no sleep. So it's tough. You'd be of course drowsy and so forth. So your eyes would be closed and everything, and it's like you're driving, and it feels like you close your eyes for a second. You're like, well, let me close it for a second. I'm still driving. I'm going to go straight. Hold your hand straight. And, hey, you've been asleep for almost a minute. Oh, that's crazy.
For a minute. You're like upside down in a ditch somewhere. All it takes is like 2 or 3 seconds to be like not conscious.
That's why it takes 2 or 3 seconds. That's why it's like...
you just need one curve. And they built the roads with curves so people stay awake. So you're driving. Yeah. So,
And the good thing that the street that I was riding on, it did have all those markers on both sides, so...
So you
especially the service road.
Bumper, that's how
the service road would have all the indentions, so it make a loud noise.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's great.
But it scares you, and you're like, whoa, okay. Just like you said, I had to pull over, fall asleep for 5-10 minutes. It was like, it was a lifesaver, but it felt like forever to get home. But you know what? Taking the brakes on the side.
Take a break, even when you're drunk. If you're drunk and you don't realize, so you're driving, you're pretty messed up. Just pull over, man. Just take a nap.
It is, man.
It's better than crashing somewhere or messing something up,
So I will tell you a story, man. This happened to a friend of mine, man. It was pretty awesome. Would let you know that calling somebody could really save a life, or in general, people's life. So it was just a random day of the week. It was probably like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and we all wanted to go party. We went to this place where it had $2 shots all night long, and this night, it was myself and probably about 4 or 5 of my friends. I think you guys were president. I'm not sure if you were also drunk that night. But we all stuffed in my old. It was a Ford. It's an old Ford Stratus. I mean, a Dodge Stratus, and we all fit in. There was about 5 or 6 of us, and we went to the club, man, and we went in there and we just hammered some shots. It was $2, whatever you call it, or whatever it was. We were talking about who we would line up a row of 10 or 15 shots in the middle and see who gets to the middle further. And we were pretty wasted that night. One of our buddies got pretty wasted. He was pretty wasted. I mean, but when we got there, we called. My sister took us there, and on the way back, we called it. We actually got this morning. We called a taxi. One of our buddies was pretty fucking wasted. I mean, this dude was puking on a big gulp. This dude was just like, you know what? He's puking, but we were all drunk. I mean, we were all very well past the drunk part. And we go out there, and this dude is puking in this big gulp, and they got some stuff. And we finally get to the location, and we're trying to get one of our other friends. His brother's going to pick us up and take us to our final destination. And this guy is like puking in the car, and then this dude is like, he's like a well-built guy. Like this is like the prime of his life. And this dude is like solid 220 pounds type of weightlifting. This dude is a solid bull. Like this dude is like rough guy.
I remember that.
You remember that man?
And then they put the skinniest guy to hold him back. I like with no help. I like
no, wait. He wasn't the skinniest guy. He was the most sober guy at that moment.
No, it was the only guy that was doing it. He's like, hey, he's your friend too. Take care of him.
This guy gets out and like they told this guy is super strong. This guy is like legit, like big beefcake. And he's trying we puke anywhere outside. He's like, no. He wants to go in there and puke inside the taxi.
He wants to go back in the taxi and puke. And this skinny guy that I know pretty well, he's trying to hold him back. He's like, help me. I'm like, come on, man. It's like 170 versus 220 of muscle. And then I'm trying to trip him. I'm like, I gotta play dirty now. So I trip his ass. I mean, that guy trips his ass and knocks him on the curb, and he gets back up and almost carries them inside the taxi cab, and they're like, just throw up outside, man. Why? Why do you have to go back inside?
Oh my gosh, y'all's Chris is crazy.
Yes, he is. But you know what? The point being is that we went out there, we finally got him not to puke in the taxi. The taxi already cleaned up. And then we went, and one of our other buddies' friends, he got us in there. Now, mind you, we were a little short on space. There wasn't a whole lot of space in this small Jeep. It wasn't a Jeep. It was some kind of, it was a Jeep Cherokee or something. Didn't have room. And mind you, this guy, again, a solid 220, maybe 225, like stout guy. Nowhere else to put him. But no. He didn't fit in the front seat. He didn't fit in the back seat. But he did fit in the trunk. So
with all the stuff in there, we stuffed him in there.
We stuffed him in the back of that truck, and we went ahead and we delivered him home nice and safe. As soon as everybody
He never drove.
He never drove. He made it home safe and sound.
He never drove home.
But the thing is, what? As friends, man, we really should look out for each other and always look out for those that are, drunk, especially if you had more than what your share,
come on, man. Like, if you're at a point where he shouldn't drive, and you're just friends, man. Like, come on, man. I'm not gonna let you take that risk. To help each other out.
So for any of our listeners or viewers, don't ever let your friends drive drunk. Especially in this day and age, you can just Uber them if you don't want to take them home.
It's a lot cheaper, man.
It's a lot cheaper.
Now that we're drinking, none of y'all drinking, none of y'all driving.
Especially now with the Corona, everybody's just staying at home, drinking and stuff. It's cheaper to just get them a Uber, Lyft. If you haven't drank, you can take them home too.
Yeah, that's all good.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming in for our 6th installment of Tequila El Rey Reposado. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
The last tequila shot. Hit like and subscribe, or keep on listening to us. Until next week.
Until next week.
That should hurt.